Congresswoman from California, Linda Sanchez, got the base and then she got pulled off for a runner, and apparently as she was jogging past the Republican dugout, she flipped the bird, flipped somebody off. I couldn't see who it was, and I asked our next guest, Guy Reschenthaler, congressman, was it you that she flipped off?
It was not me. I was unfortunately I was not at the baseball game. We had a late night committee meeting where I was, but I can tell you it's unfortunate that in a charity event like this, where you have both sides coming together for a good cause, that you would see behavior like that. But it shows you, one, how much our society has degraded where this kind of behavior is coming from an elected official, and also just the level of acrimony between the parties down here. So it's really a shame.
So I'm glad you were working, though, while they were out having fun.
It's all part of the job. It's all part of the job, and it's all good.
All right, good.
Well, we are with United States Congressman Guy Reschenthaler and on our Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline. The real reason we wanted to reach out to you, Congressman, was this whole situation with WNBA star Brittany Griner, now about to be sentenced in Russia, apparently could be as long as 15 years for a very small amount of a marijuana substance. No one's 100% clear on what that is. And then we hear of this Marine who's been in jail for 2 years there in Russia. And we haven't heard the name Marc Fogel, a Butler native, a teacher from the Oakmont area, who after his 60th birthday went over there to teach, and he had a small amount of what is legal medical marijuana from the state of Pennsylvania, understanding that it's not legal in Russia, but he's been sentenced to 14 years, has spent almost a year there in a maximum security Russian prison, and his niece, Alex Hewen, told KDKA TV,
I just want people to understand that this is a death sentence for my uncle. He's 61 years old. He already has these health issues, and we're talking about a maximum security prison in Russia here. So we're distraught. We're beside ourselves, and we did not see this coming.
Is there a way, Congressman, to get his name in the conversation on a potential prisoner swap?
Well, what you'd have to see a lot of pressure from both Congress, and that would, of course, be the House of Representatives and Senate, and Mike Kelly represents him in Butler. And you would have to see, I believe, some media pressure. But what this shows us, that the administration went into hyper mode when it came to Griner, and really did nothing for the Marine that was detained and has done nothing for Fogel, is the priorities. If you're a celebrity, if you're getting media attention, then even though you break the law, which I think Griner did, I think she did bring in marijuana into the country, then that is excused, and the administrative state will go out of their way to help you. But if you're a teacher from Butler, if you're a Marine that was falsely accused of espionage while in Russia, you languish in a high max security prison with hard labor in Russia. Griner, because of her celebrity status, is given a pass by the American media, and then the administration goes into hyper mode to help her. So it shows where the priorities are. There's much more care from the administration for celebrities and I'd say coastal elites, and there's just disdain for really anybody, I think, that has served in the military, and disdain for anybody in what they perceive as flyover country like Butler County.
I don't know. I think disdain's a little strong for those who serve in the military. I think both sides of the aisle appreciate the men and women who serve. I don't think that's necessarily in this situation the issue. But if Brittany Griner is going to get out, I think Marc Fogel should be considered on that list too, because, I mean, this has got to happen now, because Russia is obviously using this as a political ploy because of our opposition to their presence and killing people in Ukraine. So is there a legal way to get this going?
There's no legal way at this point. What there is, though, there's a political channel. So you would have to get elected officials to pressure the administration. You'd also, I believe, you'd have to get the media, not because the media plays a role in this, but because the administration seems much more apt to act when there's a cause celeb in the media, and that cause celeb would have to be people rallying around this teacher from Butler. But disdain may have been a strong word, but I can tell you that if you look at the actions here, it's not a coincidence that as soon as a celebrity basketball player gets caught with marijuana, there's immediate action.
Well, I understand that, but to your point, Jon Stewart, famous television star, very upset at Pat Toomey, United States Republican senator, because they blocked the PACT Act that would have helped veterans who are dealing with things like the pit fires, that the burns that they had, and these soldiers and Marines suffering from some of this. And so, I mean, that's what I mean. It's why can't we help those people too? I mean, it's they'll use the military as a pawn to attack Republicans. That without a doubt. But again, there was no action on the Marine who was falsely accused of espionage in Russia until you had this celebrity that got caught with marijuana. Now there's attention on it. But he was in there before the current administration was in power. I'm just talking about Marc Fogel. Yeah. Is there a way to help this guy get out? I mean, politics aside, can we help this guy in any way? What do you recommend?
The only thing we can do is have the elected officials pressure the administration, hope the administration includes him in the deal. But we don't negotiate. The members of the House and Senate don't negotiate these deals. We can only pressure the administration. And again, any attention from the mainstream media and the national media would go a long way. Again, it's just sad that people care much more over this celebrity basketball player than this teacher from Butler. I think it's inherently unfair, but that's what the media is picking up.
All right, we'll see if we can get any traction then and get some focus on this from the administration. And we are asking people to reach out to their elected officials, and try to get some traction for Marc Fogel's name getting on this list.
So is there a phone call that you can make to start the ball rolling for Western Pennsylvania?
Yes, and I'll be working with Mike Kelly's office, because Mike Kelly's office is the office that's running point, because he represents Butler.
Well, I guess he was born in Butler and from that area, but he's out of Oakmont. So whose coverage is that?
That would be Lamb's district. So look, we will coalesce as the Western Pennsylvania delegation, both Doyle, Lamb, Kelly, and myself, and John Joyce, and try to work to bring attention to this. You have my word. But at the end of the day, it would help. It would immensely help if we had national news media coverage on this to bring attention.
Well, we'll see.
Again, it shows priorities of the media coverage and the administration.
We would greatly appreciate anything you can do, and we'll continue to try to keep this going so that we can at least get him on the radar screen. And really appreciate your time this morning, Congressman. Thank you.
Guy, as you guys coalesce, I'll call my old boss in New York.
Who's that?
It sounds good.